What's up, Army? Welcome back to Redemption 46 Studios. I'm Nick.
안녕, 로입니다.
Keith.
And I'm Curtis.
You know the vibes. Y'all seen the picture. Y'all seen the thumbnail. Y'all know why y'all here for this banger. Whalien 52, BTS, live, no long talk. Let's jump into this.
But most I'm gonna tell you my story. 한마리 고래가 마지막에 외롭게 말을 해 아무리 소리쳐도 닿지 않는데 사무치게 외로워 조용히 있다보네 소용없는 말은 듣기지만 아름게 외로움이란 녀석만 내 곁에서 머물게 어쩌니 혼자가 좀 외로움이 채우는 잠을 누군가는 새끼게 그냥 너한테 누군가 곁에 머물 수 없다 하는 거 그걸로 좋게 날 가기 싫게 얘기하는 것만은 분명이네 외로운 정찬이를 눈에 척이제 Come on 그렇게 갇혀서 내 숨이 막혀져 진심이 이렇게 혼자 노래 불러 왜 단서 같은 것도 내게 빛날 수 있을까 Lonely way 여기 돌아와 대답없는 이유일까 너희를 날 때까지 No more baby no more 끝없는 고전한 언젠가 닿을 인정이 지고만 되는 것이다 난 볼 수 있을 거야 오늘도 다시 노래하시나 세상은 저대로 몰라 내가 얼마나 슬픈지를 내 아픔은 섞일 수 없는 무가기를 그저 난 수면 위에서만 숨을 쉴 때가 시간 외로움만 난 섞어봐 나도 아니고 싶네 내같이 everyday 걱정에 범위를 해 This thing don't really say 내 몰래 왜 끝이 없고 매번 태워 시간이가 너무 차가운 시간 속에 내 몰래 늘 생각해 지금 태우던 거더라도 부른 노래답게 다가온 큰 칭찬이 메워지고 주게 한 너의 나에게 Sweet story 미래 향해 전부를 뱉어봐 내 혼자를 믿어해 lonely 이렇게 혼자 너를 골라 내 단속 같은 나도 수 있을까 이렇게 또 한 번 불러봐 내가 없는 이 노래가 내일이 날 때까지 어머니는 바다가 부르라 하셨어 머리 짚어는 목소리 내라 하셨어 그런데 어떡하죠 여기 너무 깜깜하고 정자는 나를 나는 노래를 부르네 스케어는 너 사랑한다 말 하고 싶어 혼자는 도는 노래 나의 아픔을 되짚어 이 바다 너무 깊어 그래도 난 다행인 건 내 꿀렁거리는 노래들 I'm a really 이렇게 혼자 노래 불러 왜 단속 같은 나도 날 불러할 수 있을까 이렇게 돌아봐 대답 없는 이 노래가 날 때까지 No more baby no more 이번은 모전하는 언젠가 닿을 거야 저기 지구만 되는 것이다 No more baby no more 우리가 후회를 줬지 난 볼 수 있을 거야 오늘도 다시 노래하자
Yeah, for all you YouTube people, I was right. Say nah.
That's
Like I mean, we can't leave JK out this time, can we?
Nah, I didn't use his voice at the
Yeah,
end
I
of
mean,
everything
we
and shit.
ad-lib kid.
Yeah,
We
I didn't know it was Jim and the part prior to though.
What, the No More?
Yeah, kind
on
of
the
going
color
off.
filter, they kind of blended the colors. Both of them sing it together, and then he hits the high note at the end. Exclusively.
Yeah, this is walking that like that like if Running I Need You was more of just like the like ballad as opposed to kind of like throwing like any of the EDM or kind of having a little bit more hyper. At least like that's kind of like my takeaway from the song. I told you I think the production on here is like God tier. Like I just love kind of like the build up that's happening, but it's not like as intense as like I Need You or anything as far as like kind of like that. It's not. Yeah, exactly. But it just it works so well because it's just like the song is almost poetry. And for real, and it finds that good. These are them ballads that I love though, where it has that good blend of like the beat is interesting enough to keep you going along the whole time, and it doesn't just kind of like stay the chorus on one shot. It kind of like has like its ebbs and flows of it and stuff, and you never really get bored of anything. Rap line does so well on here too because I feel like they find a way to switch up their cadences to kind of, I don't want to say play a trick on your ear, but it's just like you don't feel like you're hearing the same rap stuff over and over again. And even with them kind of bouncing, like taking turns as far as like being on the hook, they do a good job with the vocal line, getting them good line distribution as well. JK is going to do what JK does and shit. I was waiting for him at any point in time like to kind of go off on the hook and shit. And him going off like he did at the end, just like it's so like soothing and like very soulful and stuff. But I like this live performance. I thought this was pretty dope. These are another one of those performances where I know sometimes we talk about like we don't need to see too much choreo. We can just see them kind of like vibing out and just kind of like really getting immersed in the song. Army, let us know if y'all was ever at any of these when they like were performing. I'm pretty sure these were like those tearjerker like performances and stuff where people probably was just crying in the crowd.
Yeah, that's 2016.
And yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if they got moments of them where they probably get hit with those surreal moments, and you'll see, you know, one of the members and shit probably start crying too and everything like that. But this is really good. That crowd looks crazy, and it's wild that this is
the way they was waving.
Yeah,
You see how intense it was.
yeah, like look at that shit. It's ironic they talking about they wells. They look like they in an ocean of army.
It's literally a sea of army bombs.
Yeah.
Pada.
So yeah, man, this
Gotta be
was
so powerful.
nah, real shit. Like, and that's why I said I can see how they get caught in those surreal moments of kind of just looking up and
You know
just.
it's powerful. Like Vegas was fucking crazy. Like just being in the audience during all those army bombs. Like it was just amazing to be in. Can you imagine them actually being for you?
But shit, look, this
Does
is.
this say where this was at? What location it was?
No, I didn't get a chance to read the back of his shirt too much. I just seen the year.
Yeah, because that love out there look crazy.
Yeah, I think is. I don't want to jump to conclusions, but I know during the Whalien time is when it's 2016. No, I know it is because I know this is from that album. I just wanted to see because I see it say 2016. Remember
BTS Live.
that concert where I know Jimmy was crying for sure. I think some more members started crying too, where they would perform "Young Forever," and they was like that was one of the first times where like the emotions like really hit them, and kind of seeing Army know the words to all of like certain songs and everything like that. This could be that one, but I don't know. The stage does look a little different.
The crazy thing is that's what I was thinking about with this performance as well, because the whole idea is the sonar, like their voices are kind of eventually going to reach someone out there, but for the moment they're so lonely and kind of stuck in where they are, and as lonely as they may feel, they're still going to sing and still going to belt out those notes and have their messages just so that it eventually reaches someone. The flip side of that is now that Young Forever story with the Army singing back to them has that meaning of like the message of this song reached them.
Yep.
So now that sentimental moment that absolutely on its own is incredibly touching has so much of a deeper level to it that it just is really incredible on top of what this song already is.
Yeah, and Whalien 52, this is actually my first time hearing it. It's one of the few songs of Whalien that I haven't heard yet, and I did want to react to with you guys. And it's not a letdown as far as the quality of the song, which I don't expect it to be a letdown or anything like that. The B-sides on the Whalien series, specifically, Young Forever, when you get a lot of the full versions and everything like that, they really just hit so hard. And like I always say, I feel like that album is when they hit their zenith with cohesion as a group before Bang was like, all right, now it's time for you guys to kind of spread your wings and get, you know, solo songs and everything like that. And you guys are able to kind of take it. And Army, the way as receptive as they are now they're ready for you guys to kind of take leaps that no other idol groups have really done as a group together, and we'll kind of, you know, do different things now. And all of this is the, you know, the basis for going into that Wings album like this. And like I said, man, we had conversations offline and online about it, how it's like, yo, man, this, you know, this is 3 years into their career. Like, we know the story about like the hardships and how long it took them to kind of ascend to the point where they are now. Because obviously this is still pre the phenom BTS that we know today.
That's what I was going to touch on. Was that this? Not to cut you off, but like this is. It's. I mean, obviously, you know, I never measure someone's loneliness, because I said that I think the song is kind of almost like a double entendre.
Yeah.
You can be talking about a celebrity being lonely, or you just could be talking about me or you.
Yeah.
Just being lonely.
Title in and of itself is a triple.
Yeah. So with that being said, it's almost like they talk themselves into more stardom, because they didn't. Not being like, you know, like that dude, this is nothing compared to what's going to happen to them in a couple years.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? To where like this
tears
is
come out months later, you know what I'm saying?
yeah. So it's just like, you know, even a year after this, the stardom that they, and mind you, every time we hear about them talking about, we didn't know when we dropped this was going to be like this. We didn't know
like,
when we
shit,
dropped
what?
this is going to be like that. They cooking up crack and don't know that they got the recipe in
So
there.
like, bro, I don't know, man. You had to have an idea.
Yeah.
Like,
You
this
can't
is-
be in a studio with blood, sweat, and tears and not know like it was going to hit the streets. And
No, but I mean, like at some point, we all are writers or artists up here.
yeah, no, you'll get caught in that like this ain't good enough.
Right. Like none of your work is ever good enough in your own opinion. And
Even when somebody tell you it is, it's not good.
and on the rare case that you find something that's like, yo, this is it.
It might be cheeks.
Well, not it won't be cheeks, but it might just be everything to you,
Okay.
and the world might not accept it. So there's always that, like, and it's something you just wrote for the world, like whatever. Let me just write this. It might blow the hell up. Now that's the paradox that most artists find themselves in. Now what do? Do I keep doing shit for me, or do I keep doing shit for them? Because we don't align on what we want to hear, or what we want to see, or the type of quality and stuff that we want to put out.
I say an artist probably should either find a good medium or just do what the fuck you want. Either one.
And
of the
maybe
two.
somebody will catch on.
Yeah,
I
and
think
maybe
that's
somebody catch on.
always the fun actually of creating, no matter what it is, whether it's writing a poem, writing a rap verse, producing, performing, or anything like, you know, of this nature or whatever like that. Some people do know, you know. Some people do know. Mike said he knew with Thriller.
He said he knew.
He said I knew exactly what I was setting out to do. I did it and then some, but I knew it was going to be the greatest ever.
I think he quoted that he knew this would change music or something. So it's, you know.
And you know, it always takes someone to have
That's
that.
not far-fetched.
It takes someone to have that vision,
Especially
to kind of do it.
Especially when you don't hear nothing like what you're cooking up in the studio out now, and it's almost like, and and it's way different back then, because like in Mike's time, you don't know what the fuck anybody else is cooking up in a studio. So it's like, damn, do I try to get this last song right and risk maybe somebody putting out a sound something similar to mine, or do I just put this out now, maybe hold the song for another album, and then just shock the world? You know what I mean? I got 3 good
insane.
tracks. I want to have 12 good tracks, but I got 3. I could put the 3 out now, and I could still eat for about maybe 2 years, because we talked about it before. Like, putting music out was such a slower process at that point in time. There was no, actually there was MTV, but there wasn't like I can just pull up online and just, hey, watch whatever I want to watch,
He
whenever I want
changed
to watch
that.
it.
Well, he changed
Right.
MTV too. For
You know,
people.
yeah, because they weren't playing brothers or people of color. Period. You know what I mean? So, like, I definitely get it, and it's definitely a different time. But it's with so much being out there, with so much saturation, it's kind of hard to tell. Damn, is this gonna hit? Because music is always changing, and you can go right through your timeline and see music literally changing in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
Whereas back then it was kind of like, well, I know it's not changed because I haven't changed it yet, and the radio wasn't playing anything that sounds any different. So guess what? You're gonna get all this.
I think that's. Oh, go ahead, bro.
Oh no, I'm gonna make it quick and then you can jump right in. I think their situation is like totally different than like almost anything too, just in the sense of when it's a difference between like chasing a wave and when you create something and you are the wave.
And
And
it's not alienating people
yeah,
at
and
the
it's
same time.
exactly, and it's like yeah, exactly. I was about to say, and when your foundation is so strong, where you don't have the not the representation. You're not regarded as an artist who like pisses off other artists, or you. That's not like that doesn't
Swagger
yeah, like that doesn't come with you, like you know what I mean. So it's just your pedigree is already of a high ilk. Like you're already kind of elite at that, and then you're also a wave creator. So you know, from what we've been told, and at least you know what I mean by Redeemers and a lot of Army in general, is that when BTS was making all these waves and doing particular moves, no one else was talking about the subject matter and then making it the way they were, as far as the concepts, the beats, and kind of organizing that all together and making it make sense and shit like that. So I think it bode well for them as opposed to other people who might have been like wave jocking, like you know what I mean.
But like when you listen to their music, it's not idol music.
Yep.
Traditionally, I'll put it that way. Traditionally, it's not idol music. So like when we listen, what did we listen to the other day?
Well, it's funny. I had a conversation with my mom about that.
Right.
She disagrees, just because she talks about when she was in second gen, she has songs of talking about depression and other stuff. But I do agree that that stuff isn't traditional compared to some of the Aegyo stuff and some of the other stuff that we see sells.
For the most part.
For the most part.
What I'll put it like this, for what I know about second gen and just that time in global music period. Someone put it well. A lot of times, with the latter half of second gen going into third gen, most of the world was going through the recession and depression and everything like that, and a lot of things were changing. So many people were making feel good music. A lot of the radio hits over here, all feel good music, whether it was rap, pop, whatever the fuck the Black Eyed Peas make and shit like that. It was feel good music and stuff like that. And that's the stuff that was dominating the radio. Lady Gaga, Kesha. If you remember, that EDM popped off right then and there. That video,
We are who we are.
the pop video, we was talking about like what defined the 2000s and the 2010s and everything like that. The music that really was dominating the radio, which would have occurred, you know, concurrently or simultaneously with the second gen, is all feel good music. And you had artists who maybe it'll be like one B-side or two B-sides that are, whoa, that don't sound like anything else that we're hearing right now. And I think with music in the late 2000s to 2010s, the B-sides songs were the songs where people kind of experimented a lot more and ended up were the ones that changed the tide a little bit. It was never really the radio songs that kind of changed everything. It'll be like, oh, that's cool, you know, but we're doing this, and then this person's doing this, and at the end of the day, you have to make the people feel good. Whereas by the time we get to 2015, remember we talk about how Twitter changed and everything like that, it literally went from just being the bid and just jokes and fun to people getting on there talking about depression, people getting on there talking about just what they're going through in life, and people kind of sharing and finding these communities and everything like that. And that's why I say BTS is one of those artists you call a perfect storm artist, where they did the right things at the right time, had the right story to get the right result. And when you have that, you have a few artists who just find that need or just kind of do something different, ends up transcending what they set out to do. Because I'm pretty sure they didn't think, you know, yeah, the motto was music for healing, but I'm pretty sure they didn't think like, yo, we're gonna be, you know, the motto was we'll work hard, not we'll change the world. You know, so and you know, just bringing it back to this song, I think a lot of the B-sides on Whalien set the groundwork for where we get songs like Magic Shot, where we get songs like Spring Day, where we get songs like
Autumn Leaves.
Autumn Leaves is on here and everything like that. And that's another one of those dope B-sides where they kind of just take, okay, we're going to do traditional R&B. We're going to have our Maknae wrote this song. We're going to kind of go into a different direction with this, though. Love Is Not Over. House of Cards.
House of Cards, outro, John.
Dog, it's really so many songs on that album. Like I said, I just really think they reached their cohesion as a group, and it just sounds so different. The mixing and mastering, everything about it sounds so different compared to like a lot of the other stuff that was out. Obviously, I'm a fan of Big Bang, and I kind of looked into their journey at the time. They were in their 9th year in 2015, then 10th year in 2006, and it was like winding down because they knew they were getting ready to go to the military and everything like that. So all the music they were doing was big as shit, like all this Big Bang Bang, Baby, all of these songs, Loser, all this. Loser would be a song that's more akin to this and everything like that. And it's like, yeah, that energy is there, but these young boys, they got something just a little bit different.
It's almost like when Drake strolled in.
Exactly.
It's almost
Well,
like
he was doing something that no American artist was doing.
a breath of fresh air. And me, I was like, okay, I like him when he came out. I was like, yo, he feels so different because it feels like he's not trying to be tough or gangster. Look where he at now. But he feels like he was being his true authentic self and was unabashed, and it wasn't corny and it wasn't trite or annoying. So like I said,
you got niggas singing.
It was like melodic Kanye.
Yeah. Basically, and just to wrap my point, because I want everybody to get theirs off. I just think this was so dope. And you could kind of see like the brightness in their eyes. I feel like this is before a lot of the real bullshit in politics and stuff like that started. Before they really started, pissing the big three off or the other people off in the Korean media and everything like that. Because it's like, all right, these guys are doing their thing, whatever. They're not that much of a problem. Then you get this project, blows the fuck up with songs like Dope, Fire, and I Need You and Run and stuff like that.
But
and
I fuck with
sound different.
Not to cut you off, bro. I fuck with that though, just because like if you don't get that pushback, you don't get Idol. You don't get Mic Drop.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You don't get like those Black Swans, and you don't get those songs with no pushback. So for every time they did a hurdle and got pushback, I love how BTS responds. It was never no conversation.
You don't probably don't get most of the ciphers.
You don't get most of the ciphers, but I love how they respond because they never respond with like words or going back and forth on Twitter. It's always music.
Yeah.
It's always more important how you respond to adversity.
It's not what happens. It's how you respond to it.
They must be fucking counterpunchers.
2 things real quick. I completely agree with what you were saying about the times dictate the music. Because if you look at COVID, Dynamite, Butter, Permission to Dance, those things like that.
You need healing music when shit fucked up.
Right. Definitely fits that narrative. The other thing too, like, so you were saying like a lot of groups weren't delivering the sentimental B-sides as comebacks, but I think that's where they kind of differed because Save Me, Fake Love, things like that, that might have been somebody's B-side hitting gem on the album. Oh, we're doing a video. Oh, we're gonna have this as our title track. Yep. Whereas some people might see it as risky to be vulnerable as a lead off, because you might look at the project like, yo, is this some sappy shit? I don't want to hear no album full of sappy shit. But it resonated with somebody enough that it was like, I'm feeling that.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is where the BU started too. So not only are you giving us something we can feel, you're giving us something creative that no one else is kind of doing, and we're looking at this and consuming all this content and stuff like that. I feel like the responsive army is kind of just one of the best, or maybe the greatest fan response to an artist doing something different that kind of just, because we know BTS has said themselves, they're nothing without Army, and vice versa and stuff like that. I think, like I said, the cohesion with the group as artists was at its peak or at its zenith, and I think the social media storm of people starting these communities and kind of just finding happy places to go, because let's be honest, I feel like a lot of people with Army, it's probably deeper than the music, but a lot of people's like, yo, I needed something I could feel, somewhere I could go and kind of feel home and just where I could be myself and something to enjoy. Did I plan on it being K-pop? No, but it happened because these guys were different. They changed everything. And like I said, that perfect storm, sometimes you just got to go out there and do what you feel is right, and you never know how it sticks.
Where I've seen this happen before almost. So like I used to be real heavy like into like comics and shit like that. And I'm not sure if you're familiar, Keith, when the Captain Marvel series like really like picked up in like the 2010s and 12s and shit like that. that's when all the online stuff was going on, like as far as all these new websites being out and everything. And I'm gonna make the story quick. Captain Marvel really clicked with a lot of women because they didn't feel like it was representation within like the comic books. And then those fan pages and stuff had people all around the world who didn't know each other just linking, making groups and shit like that. People like dressing in the Captain Marvel like stuff and everything like that. And then the comic book started doing a whole bunch of different iterations of it, like Kamala Khan and all these other joints or whatever. And that's how kind of it got like a real big push. And then shit wound up going left on all these Reddit pages and all the other stuff or whatever, and kind of shutting down.
Reddit back then was a little different.
Yeah, but all that to say, like at the time, that was something where it was like millions of fans on there for that one particular like hero and
As
stuff.
a response.
As a response, and you
To
can
a
see
need.
it grow organically.
Right.
And that's just kind of one, because I'm pretty sure y'all might have seen this in other facets or even just in music. Like in U.S. music and shit, we've seen people grow organically.
So you can keep it in the same vein. Why do you think X-Men are so popular? You know, like I know most of the people I know that read X-Men were minorities.
Yeah.
Why? Because
comic book is based off of two or major minority figures, and the whole
but
X
not just
gene.
that,
is
but to
like-
always
Spider-Man
feel
too.
isolated and exiled, and you know you can be great and everything you can do be great, but you know, yeah, you saved my kid, but you know.
You're blue.
Yeah, you blue or you're blue or you know that car hit my mailbox, so you know break out the pitchforks and lanterns. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, your
Fuck you
skin.
mean you can read my
Yeah,
mind?
and I just say
Right.
blue because
Bald
like
man
your
and-
skin's,
bald
your
man and
skin's
Night-
different.
Nightcrawler got a lot of pushback.
Yeah, it's like blue because like your skin's different than mine, and you look funny. I'm scared of you.
What do you mean you can read my mind? Bald man in a chair?
and like they also had a lot of good. We're kind of getting no, but like they also had a lot of good things in that because there were some mutants who wanted to hide their. Their physical look,
And
and there
then you
was
more
some,
light skin and you can hide in and blend in
and
with
there
people.
were some that were just kind of like, you know, this is who I am, man. Fuck whoever don't like it. You know what I mean? It is what it is, and they would take the brunt of the hate like right to the face, because they couldn't hide. You know what I mean? There was nothing to hide behind. They had nothing. You know, there was no fig leaf.
Yeah, and like I said, to bring everything back to BTS, I'm just saying I think they're special, and obviously, you know, they have paved the way for a lot of things, especially like in the K world now that's going on. You probably won't never see this again, and if you do, it'll probably be kind of like set up in a different way, just because
Totally
you-
different need being addressed.
Like you
Yeah,
said, it's
so
it's a total.
I disagree that it will never be seen again.
Well,
Because
no,
they
no,
probably said the same thing about the Beatles, but it will never be in this generation again.
Yeah, no.
I personally think we've seen wilder shit than the Beatles, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I got you. Like this will never be done again in this fashion because whenever something else happens, it'll be through something else. Whatever the next YouTube is, or whatever the next media of music is. If an artist jumps on that early, that'll be the wave. Remember,
They just
niggas wasn't
showed-
on YouTube
they
until
just showed
Soulja
to
Boy
your
and
house.
them. You know what I mean? Was on
Can you
YouTube.
I
imagine
was
like
on
they just
YouTube
show up to
about
your
Hattie
house and play in
videos.
your living room and shit?
Nah, like real shit. And I think, well, you hit it on the head earlier, where it's like BTS. I feel like
Right place,
Army,
right time.
Army's foundation is so strong that they might have been good regardless of anything that happened. But when you
They just
add
didn't
in,
know that, yeah.
when you add in social media, and now you got people from India that never heard about you, Russia, Brazil, America, Canada, places in South America, you know what I mean, other like Asian countries and stuff that never heard the music, and then they heard it, and now it's just like, hold on, wait, what's the fandom called? Army? I could be Army and shit. Where do y'all just be on Twitter talking? Cool. Y'all got a website? Okay, cool. I literally bought the joint. I have my Army joint. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you literally can become an Army member through like reverse and everything and shit.
Such a weirdo.
Yeah,
But like,
I wear it proudly.
No, but no, I completely agree with that. And let's be honest, as much as we care about individuality and we want to be ourselves, and I don't need nobody.
People love being a part of something.
Yes.
No matter how much
Exactly.
people fight it. Only time it's not cool is when you feel like too many people's getting in the club.
Then you become a hipster. But
The most annoying people ever.
but I feel like maybe whatever.
Part of the human experience is a connection in general, though.
Yes. But some people fight that experience or fight that connection. But once they get it, they dive all in. But now it's too many. Now it's no longer, I no longer feel exclusive. I just feel like everybody else, and I don't want to feel like everybody else. I want to feel special. I want to feel like I'm a part of an elite certain group, and now that elite certain group is no longer elite because it's out to the world and anybody and everybody.
BTS told me to love myself.
That only becomes a problem.
No, it's not everybody, but it's.
No, I was gonna say I think it only becomes a problem when people who are like just naturally gatekeepers of stuff or want to be gatekeepers of stuff, when they feel someone who's undesirable or someone who's challenging certain things that they've done. So let's take us for example. You see how we jumped into this reactor space and we're not doing cookie cutter type of reactions. We're giving you analysis. It's not just 7-minute videos where we be like, yes, oh yeah, all right, cool.
Thumbs up, thumbs down,
comment, subscribe, buy our merch. You know, cash app us, all that type of stuff like that. Yeah, when you start to talk about things and challenge certain narratives or just challenge certain things that people do, people will be like, oh, it's a fucking turd in the punch bowl now. And like just want to kind of cancel Christmas, if you will, on stuff that's going on.
Or they'll see what necessarily didn't work for us. Like I've seen some people duplicate recently the videos that we have done, and they went far left. Whereas we were being honest and you know, being transparent. Oh, it was great. Blah, 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 blah. Like some of the things you might just be real. Just be, you know, just be real. If you really felt like everything was cool, I apologize for my comments. But if you were like, you know, maybe that's kind of crazy, but I'm too afraid to say what I think because I know that this fan base is not going to like it, I'm going to get a lot of punchback, then and to not say it or to just kind of just smile and wave, boys, like I'm a big authentic person. That's not authentic at all. And it's like it's just going along to get along.
Right. Yeah, you know what sucked the most, and I'm not going to really stay on the negativity. What sucked the most with all that was because I don't really take comments to heart. I'll read them, and if it's something that's like, you know, real criticism and I think it's valid, then I'll just be like, oh, okay, cool, you know, maybe I was wrong or I'll move forward with something. What hurt the most was people saying like, y'all were, you know, you're gonna stop reacting to BTS and everything, and I'm just like,
using BTS
why would I do that?
I'm not gonna lie, that was something that made me fucking laugh hard as shit.
Well, I hate that too because it seems like a oxymoron. If I'm using it for clout, why would I use a video that I think would piss people off?
Not only
and not just that, but if you think I'm using it for clout, why are you giving me views and being here and, you know?
Because they were using trigger words like you wanted to get y'all views up and like those.
I'm like, bro, we have a bunch of videos that's under 10,000 views. Those Christmas videos, like it's not like they jumped out from the rip.
Well, not just that. If we wanted
views and stuff like
so the example of success is people who are just literally going along to get along, smile and wave, 5-minute videos, in and out. Hey, like, comment, subscribe, 5 stars. You know what I mean? Like, so.
And we didn't set out to do that to be like, oh, we're gonna rock the boat, just rock the boat. It would be insufferable for us.
If it was just about the grab, right? We would go. You know how many videos you would get per week if we just did 5-minute videos? Do you? Yeah, I feel like the dude from what is it, Invincible? Like, think, like
what? Like I said, what? And I don't. The things that offend me more are the comments where people try to be more eloquent, if you will, as opposed to people just saying, "Oh, you fucking weirdos," blah blah blah, or something like that.
Like, oh, you're gonna use big words? Like, I'm not gonna catch you on.
Yeah, an internet person calling me a clout chaser will make me laugh. Whereas someone questioning my intelligence, that's the comments that piss me off, and that's what which leads me to responding to stuff, because you'll get comments like, oh yeah, these guys don't know what the fuck they're talking, they're not smart, there's only one smart member on the panel, or, you know, blah blah, things of that nature. And that's where it's like, bro, what the fuck? Like, you know, like I said, someone saying I'm a clout chaser for BTS, I don't think you know the climate over here. Like I said, we've already expressed how
there is no clout over
here. There's no clout to be gained from saying I'm a K-pop reactor or anything like that, outside of people who are more open-minded. But the general public over here is not open-minded, and that's not based on race, gender, or anything like that. A lot of people, you would probably think, oh, they seem like a progressive person, they might like BTS. They'd be like, oh, that fucking Asian
Perfect
shit.
example.
Like,
if you said, yo, we react to music, you can give them 20 guesses. I guarantee you K-pop wouldn't be one of those fucking guesses.
That should be like, listen to some Steely Dan. Listen to
Ariana. Hey.
No, I'm just saying in general.
Not Steely.
No, I listen to Steely Dan. That's what I'm saying. Like, it'll be anything
Coming
but.
soon.
So when you say K-pop, they be like,
Nick's like,
those
no, the
Asian
fuck
guys?
it's not.
And, you know, I've had people literally say that. They'll be like, you mean that like factory music or that shit that's overproduced? Those guys don't really look like that, or this and this is just so much makeup they're wearing and so much this and this. All of those type of criticisms, just to tie that up, I don't.
is wild.
There's no clout
It
for
is.
me to be gained by anything. This is just actually something we love, and I think tying that in with BTS. They're not performative, whereas a lot of people are like, oh, they just doing this shit. Here they are talking about feelings. Like, bro, I'm going through shit. People out in the world are going through shit. You know, yeah, we could just make feel good, turn up happy songs, but no, we're gonna actually go there. We're gonna go to the dark place where some people are, and that's how we bring some people out.
But
And
people only accept what they're comfortable with. So we listened to XXX earlier. You know, he was making feeling music. Juice WRLD feeling music. Drake feeling music. They'll accept those in a heartbeat. But let a group or somebody who does not look like them make the same type of music, or music that might even hit deeper if you actually listen to it. They don't have time for it. They don't want to hear it. They're closed-minded to it. So I mean, like,
And even some of the people you named, people were a little closed-minded with some stuff. Triple X, they just kind of was calling him a loud boy. They didn't, you know,
Yeah,
it kind of took both people dying.
A fan,
unfortunately,
in general of him, but I did like a handful of songs, and
it took both of them dying. Almost rest in peace to both of them to kind of garner some of the massive success. I think both of them were a little bit. I ain't gonna say ahead of the time. Yeah, some of the acclaim. Definitely both ahead of the time, but I definitely get what you mean as far as this. I do want to tie it back because I don't want to run on like a big tangent.
No,
I
I'm definitely
never
gonna say-
I never got the preconceived notion of judging anybody prior to hearing the music. And I guess I understand why some people might do it, but I just was raised different, and I never in my life would just see a person and be like, oh, since they're this, then that means the music is this, or this is that, or they have makeup on. Like I said, even the makeup thing was just a weird statement because everybody wears makeup in the industry when you're doing stuff. So, but y'all can jump back in.
It was two things to me, and I'm done. So first thing, I can't think of the first thing, so I'll go right to the second thing. Damn, I can't remember the second thing either.
It's okay, it escaped you.
It just got away.
Was it the Triple X thing?
I think it was a Triple
Juice
H
WRLD?
thing. I think it was a Juice WRLD thing, but I can't remember exactly what it
how
was.
people responded to them or something.
How people responded to it.
They're clean.
So their song eventually got heard by somebody well after they were gone, which is exactly what they're talking about in Whalien 52. My song will eventually be heard, and I will find my pack. However, they're not here to be here to reunite with them, but they do have a grouping of people, and they've brought people together from their song. You know what I mean? Like, that's almost like full circle.
Well, somehow they both, especially Juice, were still dropping music.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
His
I'm
juice
not gonna lie.
box
He
is
kind of
never
came
empty.
out of nowhere because I remember 2018, like it was nothing, and the music I was listening to at the time was very much like kind of open. It was I was coming off a depression and everything like that of 2017, one of my dark years, and 18 I was just kind of I'm gonna listen to some happy shit, kind of like expand and get back to the experimental stuff I was listening to. I'm still mad I didn't hear Fake Love, like, for whatever reason. I think at the time Fake Love released, I think Daytona had just came out, Nip had dropped, everything was just like totally different. So
It wasn't in your radar. At all.
yeah, because I definitely would have liked Fake Love. I definitely would have liked Love Yourself Tears, an album in general. But then you had the Drake and Pusha thing, all the stuff that kind of like just 2018 was a crazy fucking year.
Oh, it was a blackout.
And then I went to Dubai like in October for my deployment. It was a wrap after that. So
It's almost like trying to find like something different other than Ja Rule and Murder Inc. in 2002
Cent
and
comes
2001.
out, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and it takes something
I was
as
about to
big
say,
as.
you damn near had to have
Right,
that moment. 50
right.
Cent had to come out for.
And in order for you to block out the sun, the moon got to be just as big for you to get that eclipse. And like that's the only way it was going to block out radio. Is something had to be just as big.
I think that would be a dope video. I don't think anyone else has done that type of video. Obviously, that would take a lot encompassing or whatever, but I think that would be a dope video at the music that kind of changed shit, like, or somebody addressing a different need or just coming out and kind of shaking things up. Because like you said, with 50 Cent, people be like, what do we need that he offer? It's not necessarily a need. He took something that was already being done and completely went over the top with it. The whole gangster rapper thing was already a thing, but he completely went over the top with it's almost cartoonish type of gangster
Because
stuff. But
it was no more anonymity. It was like, yo, you don't got to guess who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That nigga right there, that cornball, that dude that sounded like Cookie Monster, that dude who's singing on every track, that dude who's not a real thug. You know what I mean? He
in a post Tupac and Biggie world,
Right.
that wasn't. People were kind of like, "Hey, let's chill out."
Yes.
Remember the beef before that? Jay-Z and Nas, they weren't talking about, "Yo, I'm going to kill you.
No.
I'm out to kill you. I'm out to do this." No, it's just about the music. And 50 Cent said, "No, it's about the music, but I'm going to kill you too. I will kill you too," and stuff like that.
and then the stories of the
people
real
fed
beef
in-
came out. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
this is
the
a real
whole
thing.
storm.
Man,
That's
then niggas really start popping up at studios, was
bro,
looking for each
my
other.
la-
Did
my
somebody get
last
shot?
point with this.
Didn't Proof get shot for that shit? Or was that something different?
No, that
he
was
was
years
just, he
later.
just got robbed?
That was years later in Detroit, in his hometown. He got killed. But
It was an argument over a pool.
yeah,
Rest in
the
peace.
thing,
Rest
yeah,
in peace.
R.I.P. Proof. That shit is so crazy. It became 50 Cent mania, G Unit mania. You know, in the subsequent years,
And Shady Records, because they got pulled in too.
it literally legitimized Eminem having other artists and doing other things and stuff like that. Even though
Exhibit got pulled in.
yeah, they didn't really work.
Snoop
too
got
well,
pulled
but-
in. No, kind of.
Bro, you literally had rappers being like, "Yo, I need to get shot," and then make a song or do something about it. The boy who played Biggie in the movie or whatever like that, this motherfucker had somebody shoot him in his ass outside of Hot 97, walked in and did an interview. He's like, "Yeah, I just got shot, but it's all good." I wish I could make that shit up. This is the post 50 Cent world. Motherfuckers felt like they had to do that. Obviously, BTS is leaps and bounds more positive and in a different
They
realm.
like, yo, stab me.
But the effect of somebody kind of doing something in music and changing shit up, look at the domino effect of people that kind of trickle after that. Like they talked about in the video, which, like I said, we had agreed with some of her, Veracity, I believe her name is. We had agreed with a lot of the points. It was just kind of the tone that had irked us.
It was the
and-
way it was presented.
yeah, and that's what I said, and I was kind of
That's
telling a
what
lot of
was
people
most
in the
annoying
comments.
with that video
That
was
kind
we
of ticked
agreed.
me off, and
What, the
I'm
way
man
it's
enough
presented?
now.
We agreed
Now that
with
we
what
in
was said.
a new year, I'm man enough to say, I did kind of go in there. As soon as I heard her kind of like refer to Super Eminem and like the tone and everything, I did take it to heart a little bit, which I always say, as having journalistic integrity and just doing things, you shouldn't do that, and I don't like to do that. So I do apologize for kind of being triggered and then triggering everyone else. But that's kind of like,
Yeah. It's crazy because I don't think y'all
just
triggered
how
each
the
other.
things-
I was in between y'all and y'all faces got triggered at the same time.
No, but journalism
But I feel you.
it works both ways.
no,
so
I'm talking about I trigger Army.
Oh,
no,
okay.
but
trigger
journalism
Army.
is both ways. So just like you feel that way, she reported it as a journalist. She should have had some integrity in that as well. Again, don't disagree with what she said, but how she said it was just kind of like, it was a little disrespectful.
I'm learning in 2023 to not let other people's
Osa.
emotions change my.
Exactly,
energy.
and that's why I say like the points we agree with in her video were super A1. People seeing BTS's success post 2017 was like, all right, we have to do this, we have to do this, let's do that. No, bro, you don't have to do that. If anything they say, the main thing is love yourself, be yourself. Literally, they have albums, love yourself and be, so.
And I agree with her saying that everything starts with the music.
Exactly,
Like,
and
music
that's
is-
what
music
that's
is over
that's
everything.
where it should go. No matter what, it should always start and end with the music. Everything in between
Clip
is
this.
on you. Yes,
So
but yeah, like I
Take
said,
that
just kind
for
of wrap it
data.
up because I definitely feel like this went on a little bit longer than expected.
It's 43 minutes. We didn't have a long
Oh, I
video
thought
in a
this shit was
while.
like an hour and a half.
it's 43 minutes and Kurt didn't talk yet almost.
So about 2 hours.
Yep. Say you good, bro? You can jump in.
No, I mean you can say what you gotta say.
Dude. I pretty much was to segue back and shit. It pretty much was like the way BTS was set up and shit like that. And this can't happen again. And if it does, it's gonna be probably 6 or 7 years from now when something else kind of comes and kind of changes the landscape. Yeah.
Something completely different. Because
By the time they putting chips in our head and shit, and the music is getting played in there and
I'm a
shit, say the nail to these, it's a fire ass. So tell you Jay-Z dropped, and you can only listen to it on.
Yeah, but not just that, but like you see it all the time. So like the Beatles, rock. There can never be another rock group to come up behind them because everybody who's going to be compared now to the Beatles. Michael Jackson,
Stones, Led Zeppelin.
right? Michael
Then you
Jackson.
immediately have people coming up after them, kind of.
You know what I mean?
just
Michael
AC/DC,
Jackson, pop and R&B.
Queen.
The only person that could really come up during his time was Prince because
Or
he
his
was
sister.
well, yes, but she was female, so that would be a different thing for
Okay,
most
yeah.
people. So like because they don't compare BTS to Blackpink too much, like you know what I mean. Maybe as far as sales or when you just want to be petty, but other than that, like you know what I mean. As far as like they paved the way, so like they talk about paving the way as far as K-pop is concerned, but I don't really hear too much like Michael paved the way for Janet, like. Yeah, by name.
She completely did her own
but
thing.
she definitely did her own
Yeah.
thing. But like, I don't think anybody behind him, Prince, or Janet and the female can come up without getting those
It's
comparisons.
funny you said that comparison because that might be kind of really close to what's going on if they were Michael Jackson as Blackpink Janet, where Blackpink sells. But let's say if Janet went platinum, Mike might have went diamond. So it's like they're still like selling and still doing
And
things,
she,
but
each one had their
each
own.
one had their
because
own-
Once was it 91 when she got that record-breaking contract and became the highest paid musician of all time? Excuse me. You see them kind of it is kind of like that sort of thing. I wish it wasn't so hostile. That is one of the things I wish. And let's be honest, the root of it is the companies feeding into that shit. I wish the companies would
'Cause it's
stop
profitable.
feeding into that. And I feel like it could be profitable without it being without you feeding the hostility. Yes, some is gonna be there all the time, but I feel like a lot of record companies in K-pop feel like, this hostility is what we need because we really don't like them. We don't like it's not a competition in America where it's like, okay, we see y'all Playboy, y'all did 2 million.
I mean, well,
we
you
gonna
kinda-
come out and do ours.
You
We
kind
gonna
of saw it
do
over
this
here
or
for a little
whatever
bit too,
that.
like the 50 Cent Kanye,
Yeah.
thing. That was fake beef. Like he wouldn't want to fuck Jay. Basically, more or less said fuck Jay-Z or you and your big brother, like blah 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 blah, just to kind of.
American fans
Drum
different
up.
though, because even if they quote unquote play onto the beef, some niggas still went out and listened to both artists.
Oh yeah,
I did.
they're not. We're not as loyal at all.
That Curtis album was ass. No disrespect, Kurt, but that
Like I didn't make the shit.
My album
It was,
fire.
but
he
it's
said
like-
my album was fire. He said I was good.
It was, but it's ironic because you tuned in though. Still,
Yeah,
you know what
I
I'm
still-
saying?
I still
So it's
checked it out. Well, I
it's
had
people
LimeWire. This
people
is
tuned
one
in
of
and
the
shit.
last years for LimeWire.
That's even worse
I had
because
to
that's
bootleg
even
it.
I bought Kanye album and
60.
Want to know why
60 for
LimeWire
market.
worse? Because nowadays to tune in the con take a second. You sat there, downloaded it, your shit was slow
I
back
probably
then.
got a virus too.
You got a virus fucking downloading them corny
Fucking
tracks.
computer got hurt.
You risked it all for a shit album,
Should have had the malware protection.
Nigga,
bro. Lost
kept
half-
2 songs.
Lost half your porn
I
stash
don't
on
think
the
I kept
computer.
two. I get money.
You said you kept I get money.
Yeah, that was getting kept. That was getting kept. But yeah, no, like I said, I love when we have these joints though, because like I said, we pull from something and it definitely takes us on a ride or whatever like that. But I think that was it's so interesting when you look at BTS's story. First of all, I know it's so much covered, but I do hope they get like some type of cinematic experience.
Oh, that's
for it,
what I
or
wanted to
I hope
say.
they get a movie or a show or something like that. Just kind of like I'm not gonna lie.
I
That
need
is something
I need a
would
BT,
completely-
BTSU movie or like mini series or something. I need something.
It
like
might be
that.
too hard.
inspired me to write a
It's
story.
fun. It's funny.
I'm working on
It's
something.
funny you said that as far as them getting a movie because that's the thing, and I forget which one of y'all said it earlier. As far as like
Idols
the
lining up to play.
right. As far as like let's call it a spade a spade. They're not the first artists to do like depression music and everything like that.
yeah.
Like it's been a thing for a while, and sometimes when you talk to some people make it seem that way. Like they kind of started depression music, and I'm like, it's kind of been a thing. Even though I told
Bro,
you the
I
cool,
need love as depression music.
yeah.
That shit
Even
is
I told you the
depressing
kind
as
of the
fuck.
whole
Scarface is depression music.
the whole love yourself wave, and we was joking about it, and I was like, Justin Bieber had a love yourself like wave and everything too and shit. I think the
It
thing
don't feel the same.
what did to me and shit.
Yeah, I can't really speak because I'm not a fan of the of Bieber.
But
But
you got a little sorry off that. That's
one song.
Yeah,
So-
you were sorry enough to get say, nah, I'm just
the
playing.
beat was cool. It was rocking a little bit, made me shake my
Yeah.
hips. But
Yeah.
I think that's the thing that kind of to go into things. Like I said, is finding something, finding your sound, then addressing a need, sticking to it, no matter what, cultivating, and most importantly, in this time, social media was so prevalent. It would actually actually be foolish not to kind of go into it and promote that way. And you know, the fan cafes, which it originally was, but then it went into all right, we're on Twitter Spaces, we're on Facebook and groups and everything like that, which is funny because I didn't join not one Facebook group until about 2016 or 17. So I can imagine. I thought that was weird shit. I'm like, no, I'm not about to be on Facebook groups
Spice
talking
Gang,
to people.
what?
Bro, I remember that. I was like, what is this?
You
I'm like,
probably
they-
thought me weird as fucking like 99 on Yahoo chat room.
Yahoo chat room.
See, but
I had people that I knew in those chat
like
rooms.
different things, especially it was because of shit like Spice Girl. I'm like, bro, these are all random people from Philly, Jersey, whatever, just in there bidding on each other all
in there
day.
bidding and shit.
At the time I was still married and shit like that, so I'm thinking, yo, I gotta be mature, I gotta live like this, I gotta do all this other bullshit that I was thinking was the way to go
Put
about
that
things.
facade of what an adult
And I just
supposed
didn't
to
have
be.
time to do that. So that stuff seemed like a waste to me, but it also ended up leading to my depression because I had no outlets. I had nothing fun outside of
You just being a
2K.
serious ass adult all the time.
Bro, imagine me being serious all the time. Like, knowing what y'all know about, imagine me being like a stickler and kind of like just, bro, I was drinking every day, going through stuff. Like I said, I actually needed BTS back then. I needed y'all motherfuckers back then. But, you know,
They always find you when you need
yeah,
them.
because 2021 was.
With the
worse
sword of
when I got
Gryffindor or some shit. Like,
Basically.
song.
Yeah, but to go back to my point when I was saying they didn't start the like depression music, it is very hard probably to tell someone's like BTS's story in like 2 or 3 sentences. It's almost something that people just kind of have to discover for themselves. You gotta almost play tracks and kind of see kind of what clicks. And I think that's why it's kind of hard as far as like trying to convert some people, the whole, you know, oh, y'all industry plants, or this is going on, or this is manufactured.
Like, nigga, what industry? They all hate
but
it.
see, I think that also depends on where they come in at, what they see, and what they gravitate. So if the first thing they see is like No More Dream, and their impression is like, we've seen this before. You know what I mean? Not knowing that that's not them now.
Yeah, I can only imagine the ignorance. This is like mindless behavior.
No, the
Right.
fuck it's not either. I was like, not even that this thing was, but
But,
no,
but I'm just saying,
they-
like,
yeah,
how
yeah.
ignorant someone would be.
To be honest, they won't even get that far because if you mean to tell me they're going to actually give a fuck about whatever they're saying other than what they're seeing, you're tripping.
Yeah.
They're never going to get to the lyrics of the song. Not like No More Dream, none of that hip hop, they don't give a fuck about none of that. All they see is like, yo, this is corny. They're copying all black culture. I don't like it.
Some niggas I know
And
don't
the
even.
people who wouldn't even say that. It would be people who would be like, "Yo, what the fuck is just what the fuck is?" They're copying up One Direction,
Yeah.
you know, stuff like that.
No, I mean, but that's a real conversation though.
Yo, some niggas I know, you know how like Money Heist and all that shit is like Spanish and shit.
Yeah.
You know how like, well, not most people. Let me speak for myself. I like to watch anything in its native tongue and read the subtitles because the acting is better that way and shit like
My
that.
daughter's the same way.
And it don't sound dumb. I got homies who don't. So if niggas won't even listen to things in its native tongue to listen to movies or something in subtitle, I already know it's gonna be
They
kind
won't
of
watch
a
an anime
leap.
if it's not dubbed.
Fuck no, they like I'll wait for the dub to come out. You crazy? I'm trying to see these sub joints because it sound better.
voice acting is way
But yeah, if I got homies that I know don't even want to do that for like movies and everything, I already know the K-pop thing is going to be a little bit of a harder stretch because they not going to almost go off anything. They probably going to be taken back by anything if they see like makeup or anything. Like you said, if I've been like, yo, blood, sweat, and tears crazy, and I
as
show
soon
them
as they
this
see
and
the
they see
ascots and the
shit,
I'm
furlies,
not gonna lie,
it's a
bro.
wrap.
Like,
Even with how my initial response was, like I said, I think it was just timing and everything.
it was tamed. I'm
Yeah.
glad I
No,
did
it really
Some
was.
people, bro.
It really
I'm
was.
not gonna lie. I'm so much of a fan. If I play Blood, Sweat, and Tears with somebody and they like shit on it, I'm liable to be like what? Like, you know, I'm at
You're
that-
too
I'm
close,
like,
man.
What the fuck are you talking about? Like,
if I did this, if this channel would have been my other homies, we'd have been canceled. Within the first 5 reactions, we probably have been canceled.
You probably
I'm not
would've
gonna
got
say
past
what I
Dynamite.
think people would have
Bro.
said or what would have happened, but they'd have been very candid.
Also, this on a tamer level. Remember, like for instance, Pete and Jared. Remember some of the first shit that they was like, yo. So who's the one that's like kind of solo or should go solo or something? I was like, damn, bro, it's only reaction number 3. You already
Yeah.
talking about breaking niggas up, but
Because it's crazy though. The army did give people passes early, like y'all don't know.
Y'all don't understand.
Y'all don't
just
understand. Yeah. Shout out to y'all, yo.
Y'all actually was a lot more
Lenient.
forgiving and everything.
Because
with the
listening to some
early-
old shit, I'm like, what the fuck did I
can't
just
believe I
say?
said this. He was like, yo, I said this shit. I was like,
It was like,
ugh.
y'all don't know, y'all cool. Like,
Not me, I stand by everything.
You know, I hope your friends, you know, give him some time. I feel like some people was like,
Nick's like, yo, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
like,
all that to say, BTS paved the way. Say nah.
they gonna be like,
Finally got it. He was saying nah. Which is crazy. We've been saying this since day one. I feel like I started the video off like this saying that. But nah, Kurt, jump in here, please, bro.
Yo, that son is beating our ass on the camera. But it's not a bright one, it's an orange one. My fault, go ahead, bro.
No, this was honestly, this is one of the most like beautifully poetic, kind of layered like songs that I've heard. Honestly, since reacting, I would say. This is definitely like one of my favorite songs. I feel like it's gonna be from them, especially as it grows on me more and more. And perhaps it's just because I'm mesmerized by the depth of the lyricism and how beautifully written the concept is and everything like that. How well they blend vocals and rap together, especially. And I spoke quite in depth on the lyrics in the previous reaction. So I'm just gonna talk a little bit about the production and things of that nature and some other symbolism. But basically, I really love within the beat that it could fit a little bit of the sonar aspects, as you had said. I remember, Nick, in the reaction, you were kind of like pacing some of the beat like this, and I want to doubt that those are like sonic kind of things when you see like the whales when they do it on the seismograph, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
not seismograph, that's earthquakes.
Okay, but you know what I mean.
The
It's like,
sonar, yeah.
Using the sonar as a
Yeah.
metronome.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
strikes.
That's the word I was looking for. The metronome. But I just think that
I was gonna say the knots.
the song is so incredibly
fast.
Yeah,
written.
but that's speed.
The song is so incredibly written that I imagine you have such a field day as a producer being able to kind of work and infuse a lot of nuances within that. And within some of that, what I'm going to say is, for one, the belting of the high notes from Cookie and Jimin particularly, talking about the heights that they've reached and kind of belting out, the passion of that sound that eventually will reach someone. And honestly, it's really like one of the truest forms of catharsis ever, honestly, just to kind of bring that old adage back. But then the depth of V's voice, and he's sprinkled throughout quite a lot here as well, keeping with the whole depth of the trenches of the ocean, where it's like the loneliness, no light reaching. So it feels like they used the depth of his voice to kind of echo some of those things. But then the belting of the voices to kind of bridge that gap and kind of tell a story literally just using the pitches and kind of octaves of your voice. And then the power of Jin's voice with the no more, like you're kind of just trying to scream to get out, almost echoing that middle ground. But then we know how Jin can pull some of those notes as well. And though it wasn't as much for him to particularly belt on this, I just think that the gap between the high and the low, the oxymoron of high and low, both with the water and with the space aspect of everything, I think that was so incredibly told, because you're telling a story just with your voices and your octaves alone. So I thought that was done incredibly well. The displays behind them are so incredibly well. The whale is literally in space. And as they said, the high pitches of their frequency aren't able to reach anyone. And then you have the whale image in space. There's no sound traveling in space. So now it's like they're literally unable. Yeah, they're unable to literally get that noise out. So you're now tying the metaphor of the whale, the Whalien 52 or whatever, the whale itself with the space aspect of being an alien, the alienation, lonely island, paradise that other people see the celebrity aspect of, but it's really you're on a lonely island, so to speak. With that, and I just love how they tied that into the message. I love how this, they also have for Hope's moment when he's talking about the Neverland. Whether it's paired intentionally or not, or just a pure coincidence, either or. When he kind of holds his arms out like he's spreading, almost in like a spread the wings kind of imagery. The image behind him on the screen is the cage. So you're literally seeing the cage bird kind of trying to speak, and we had mentioned that in the previous reaction as well. So kind of seeing some of those things come to fruition. Even though they don't specifically mention the imagery of the birds or the cage or anything, it's a metaphor. But I just thought that was incredible that they included that as well. And just the way he kind of said that with the Neverland, it really did pair with the kind of cage behind him, the cage bird singing, so to speak. And in his case, dancing, of course, being that
felt that shit.
being that outlet for him. So I thought that was incredible as well. And then, the piece of the puzzle that this ties into when you think about songs like Paradise, songs about like Tomorrow, saying that, I'm going to put this out there and for it to eventually reach whoever's going to hear it in that Tomorrow, which is odd in a sense, again, because of V's distortion in the hook as far as, so I really feel that this ties into that and enriches those songs for me as well. Also, as you had said previously with the Young Forever, the fact that, you know, Army had sung it back to them. So almost as though the motifs that they're talking about within this song are kind of being reciprocated, which only adds deeper to my love of that song as well, and the emotion of the journey that they'd had up to that point. So it's just, this is filling in so much puzzle pieces for me and enriching so many other parts of the journey that we've come to see. So I loved all of those aspects as well. And yeah, and I just love the whole general oxymoron of kind of, you know, everything being the depths of the ocean, but then, you know, the heights of space, and just ultimately kind of how you're trying to find that home within, much like how they said with the Army aspect, where it's like, you know, you felt alienated in your own home, you felt alienated abroad, internationally perhaps, and that Army was literally the connective tissue that kind of allowed you to feel like you had a home in a sense, and then vice versa, you know, Army, you know, being lonely themselves and finding those waves that eventually reach them in one form or another, to kind of have that connection, and that's the whole Purple Heart, you know, you made the greatest sacrifice for me, we'll make the greatest sacrifice for you, and that synergy between the two, that yin-yang, if you will, and I just find that so strongly emphasized in this track, and if it is indeed kind of someone's track or someone's gateway into, you know, a different side of BTS or anything like that, I could certainly see, you know, how that would, you know, play into that as well. So this really is just such an incredible track, and the depth and the lyricism within it is, you know, incredible. But the pieces that this adds to me on the deeper level of kind of the journey that we've had at large to get to this point, holds it like all that much more true for me. And honestly, this really feels like a perfect birthday present. So yeah, I'm being a little sappy right there, but this is definitely, you know, one of my favorite songs, I would say.
You know, it's interesting enough.
Damn you.
Interesting
Damn
enough.
you're so mean.
Two things. First thing is when I went
Curse
to go
you
lay
for ruining
down
this
after
family
the
moment?
hype was on, I watched the video to go to sleep like I always do. This video that I watched was Real Life Lore, great YouTube channel if you don't know about it. But they talked about like how deep is the ocean. That was the video I was watching, and it was they talked about how like how deep whales can go and can kind of just exist down there by themselves.
Funny because we've been having that conversation for like
I
a
was
week.
just about to say last
Oh,
week.
we go off then.
Yeah, no, that was
somewhere Nas was like,
yeah, we had the conversation about. I asked the group. Sometimes we have y'all think these conversations are our group chat conversations just kind of really go on tangents for days sometimes. But I was like, what's scarier to y'all? Or actually, it was, what do you think will happen first? Like machines taking over, we colonizing up Mars, or us reaching the bottom of the ocean and things like that. And then it eventually turned into what's scarier, going out into space and seeing stuff, or going down into the ocean and seeing things and everything like that. And it was almost unanimously the ocean.
because that shit's actually still here.
Yes, it's here, and we still don't know what's at the bottom. We know it's planets. We know, all
It's
this shit.
70% of our planet, and we don't know.
We don't know what the
anything
fuck
about
is. And it's nothing we can build. Or maybe, you know what? Maybe they will one day build something that can withstand the pressure
Maybe they
of
have.
going down there.
Plus, like rising sea
I
levels
just-
and civilizations being buried underneath the sea,
Exactly.
like you just don't know kind of.
Knowing what we
is,
know about viruses and shit being under the ice caps and stuff like that,
Sure.
I can only imagine what's down in the water. I kind of don't want to know, bro. Like I'm big on knowledge too. I'd rather know what's up in space or what's
Not trying to
out
open
there.
Pandora's box.
Yeah, some shit, motherfucker, just leave it alone.
How cute
you
is
know?
Pandora?
Yeah. So Pandora. Speaking of which, I'm going to see that this week.
Sometimes history and everything seems cute, but sometimes once you start playing with things you're not supposed to
Yeah,
be
we was
playing
like,
with.
yo, you open this up. And how many movies have we seen about, yo, how about we bring dinosaurs back? How about we create this? How about we do this? How about we do that? And it's just like, bro, please do not do that. It is, and like I said, it's just so interesting.
To be fair, Terminator 2 was kind of that movie too.
Yes. First of all, they keep joking about, oh, the machines are taking. I'm like, y'all laughing, bro. Like,
We literally got
They
Meg
keep-
coming out this
They
week.
keep building shit. Why are they
me
still
and Jared
building?
was talking about
Tension.
because I'm buying the new couch for in there this week.
Did you see the Google robot that walks up the stairs and can actually dance? And even if you knock it over, it gets right back
Like
up.
you said, that Megan Jones. Why the fuck is
Why?
she?
Yeah,
why the
I'm
fuck
with
is she
y'all,
dancing?
but what y'all gonna tell scientists not the scientists?
Yes.
No. Well, I'm not even telling you not the science. I'm telling you,
Stop
like-
AI-ing.
if you already built the phone,
This AI already on your
if
stuff.
we can say anything like, damn, I really want a leather couch with this and this, and then as soon as I get on Instagram, that shit like leather couch with this and this seems like something you might like. Like,
That shit, it's already AI tracks everything
yeah,
that we
yeah,
doing.
yeah.
Like
We've had
the
conversations.
conversation.
Our
And
YouTube
then-
feeds, all of it.
Yeah,
based
or
on what
IG,
we
they're
watch,
like-
And thank
everything
God some of them had the common courtesy to ask you, like, is it okay if we
want us to
track
track?
your, you know,
Nope.
your abilities
Nope.
through the joint? No,
Don't track
don't.
me through
negative.
shit.
Oh, sure.
Terms and conditions, page 17.
Page 17
Yo,
and shit.
I've been holding on to this idea because I want to get to like an app developer to kind of create it, but I'm just gonna put it out there now because there's no point in like holding shit. Can somebody build an app that scrubs through new terms and conditions and updated stuff and just kind of gives you the cliff notes of it? I think I would pay for that shit.
But they're saying nobody's gonna do it
I
because
think somebody will, man.
they won't last long.
Well, it was something like that. It's something
know
not
how-
exactly like that, but it's
You know
something
how many
akin
people
to
will
that.
lose
People do
money?
shit like that.
Will lose money off the hidden things, and cell phone companies will lose millions because all the hidden taxes and bullshit that they put in your bills. Like, there's no reason why your bill should be like that much money. Oh yeah, you only pay $75 a month, but why my bill $200? Oh yeah, you
Because
know,
you went over, you asshole. This would be like,
or like it'd be
what?
special taxes and fees, but it's like no fucking way. There's that many special taxes and fees.
Like, bro,
You know what I
I know
mean?
better.
Yeah. It's just sleepy time for me. Nah, but Kurt, was you cool? Because I know we was like talking a lot, and I want to make sure you gave input on everything that was in here before we dipped out of here.
No, I was just looking at the one kind of print in one of the backgrounds as like the whales are in space or whatever. I don't know if that's exactly it, but it kind of looks like a thumbprint, fingerprint.
No, that's an outline of a humpback whale.
Okay, no, but it also kind of looks like the outlines of like DNA, like a fingerprint. But the reason I'm saying that
No. I mean like the white.
Yeah, that's what
That's
I'm
a
talking
humpback
about.
whale.
No, I know, but it also does look like.
Oh,
No, yeah, he's trying to say it
okay.
literally
But I'm
looks like
saying the whole thing of identity, as far as like where do I fit? I'm an alien. I don't belong. And if that is a literal humpback whale's stitching outline, but also like a thumbprint or a fingerprint of some kind, to where that's your individual characteristics and
entendre.
identity. That is fucking incredible, and it's just the poetry that they're layering within the presentations behind them as they're performing. I can't even imagine, what that means. And then the last thing I was really just going to say on top of that was the fact that they're performing this on the message, what they know about their journey, both what they've said to Army and what they've, just amongst themselves, I'm sure. And then basically to look at literally a sea of armies and just army bombs, and knowing that your message is kind of reaching that
Or
proverbial people as you're
ocean
belting out
of
these
army.
notes into that that ether, if you will. That's just got to be so incredibly powerful, and I get it.
An ocean of army, and they're putting their song out into the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god!
No, this is just
gets
beautiful
deeper.
on every level, honestly.
Nah, them. They shoot like Golden State in 2016.
Army was like, we only got like maybe 5 of the references out of the other 600.
It's like actually that well was also on Yet to Come.
As vast as the ocean.
Hey, yo!
I think it was. Wasn't it? Was it well?
I think there was a whale on Yet to Come.
Mine, hang on.
Playing
hang
around.
on.
I'm like,
Wait, last
court.
one. The song that was considered the hidden track was C.
Oh yeah.
And remember, the sounds were desert sounds or whatever, or vice versa.
Seesaw.
So oh my god, they literally tied in all of this to future. Like I can just imagine all the sediment that rests within everything here.
The whale's in space like he's an astronaut. Is he in the universe or
My universe?
could be? Overload.
That was how the reaction, and we all just like fizzed out.
Oh nah, that'd be a funny ass edit. Like, we
It
all
just disappeared.
start shaking and then we match cut to the chairs, just like powder and
Dave
shit.
Chappelle head explode.
I don't feel so good, Mr. Nick.
Nah, with the way BTS does everything, though, I wouldn't be surprised if like everything kind of worked itself back. Like we said in the track, even when they reference stuff like tomorrow and everything, they literally could just not be
Because it was so
exactly.
awkward. It was so
It's-
awkwardly, like,
the way it
just
was placed in.
shoehorned
It's
in
almost
there.
like you shoehorning in old references to other songs and then kind of like just bringing them back. So I'm pretty sure everything's for a reason. Arm and them, they don't.
That's fucking incredible.
they-
And
they don't
that's
play
why
with
I'm
the
saying
pen.
it's like the way this is enriching. Like this connective tissue is enriching like 1,000 other things that I feel like we've seen from them.
Yeah, and it starts to, and mind you, it's still other B-sides and
Oh,
shit
absolutely.
we haven't. So it's we still got other gems to jump into where it's even like the Leo moment.
Yeah, I feel like that was us the whole reaction almost.
Yeah, but it probably died when I was talking, y'all. Yeah, I was saying that a lot of them don't have like live performances to like stuff now. For like BTS, it's just like y'all can Enjoy that color coding, my guy.
The prospect of me
out
never
that J
seeing
Gooch.
Pluto perform live or House of Cards live, like, I don't care what muster they do, whatever. Motherfucker, I am going to that shit. I have to see V belt Pluto out live. I have to see Seesaw live. I have to see a lot of the Love Yourself songs. Just a lot of shit I want to see live. I hope, and I'm gonna try to like.
Yeah, so right now I'm on Answer, and that's kind of what I just been playing for the past like 2 weeks. Yeah. Knowing I can't see like Euphoria, like Dimple, I'm Fine, Love Myself, Love Maze, not Love Maze, Love Myself, Magic Shop, Best of Me, Empire. Well, we saw got to saw
Best of
Empire
Me,
Man,
that's
but Best of
literally
Me.
one of my
crazy
favorite
part,
songs
though.
from them.
And here's the bad part. The more new music they put out, the less and less
That's
of a chance
chance
you
you
got
get.
to hear that shit.
Imagine your favorite song is like Whalien or like something from.
You're never
Smooth
hearing
Love
this,
Affair.
my guy.
Like, just one
Like
day.
tomorrow, I want to hear it tomorrow.
I would've
never
killed
going
to
to
hear
fucking
tomorrow.
hear it.
Where
I'd've
you
died at
from?
jump.
Fucking
Where you from?
just it's so many songs. Like imagine that's your favorite song.
I want to hear Pied Piper.
I'm a piece of shit, man. I'm not gonna lie. If I get a time machine, people like, well, you're gonna go back and hear this.
No, I'm going to this BTS
Not
concert.
somebody
Yeah,
at
I
the
was
BTS
gonna
concert.
and then I'm going back to
Niggas start making
1985.
references to other songs. People they're like, "What are you talking about?" You like,
Oh,
I
they
said
ain't
too.
coming
I
yet.
said too much.
Then I'm going to 1992.
People start to fizz out. Talking.
Now imagine it's some Back to the Future thing where like Lo actually planted these seeds, like and we just don't know it, like other universe Lo.
Then I'm like, hey, you guys ever heard of
He left a
Bitcoin?
stick of butter.
I'd like to buy about 10.
Nah, that's funny shit. I go by RM shit. Hey, you seem like a pretty smart guy. You know what I'm saying? Wildflower.
He's like, huh?
A flower field is where you at. Why?
He's like, what? What?
Yeah.
Still alive? Okay.
What is he talking
What color is that? Indigo? Oh, I love it. I love it.
Hey, you
Not
what's your
one-
name? Yoongi?
Not one of y'all
You
grabbing.
look like you'd be on a seesaw having fun.
Not one of y'all grabbing Jimin and shit, just like blood, sweat, and tears.
Hey, stop living a lie. I love you, by the way.
The serendipity of that comment.
Some weird guy just texted me, Jen.
Walk past
Serendipity.
me. Singularity.
Hey, you're a handsome young man. You want some chicken noodle soup?
With a soda?
He said,
on the side?
J-Hope be like, well, for soda on the side?
J-Hope probably be the only one like, okay.
You give him
J-Hope
a
be
little,
like, it said
him a little
Nick was
can of
here.
give him a little can of Sprite.
Nick will probably go to LA and like bash Tony over the head before the show starts.
Not replacing Tony.
Like, Tony!
You thought the other guy was like 6'8".
No,
Nah, it's just me.
It's just me.
Yeah, I was in good shape at the
Me
time.
and you fuck Tony.
Now that's replacing the guards and shit. We in there.
Like, Lord and Nick. No, it said the Tony and the Nick.
It's
No,
No,
it's
it's
us.
us.
It's us. It's us.
Somehow we work our way back to SK with him and shit.
You be like, yo, Coolio, I don't like the way you talking to my guys, man. Fix your tone.
Dang.
Man,
They hating on y'all again.
I done fucked up on episode 1 when they done went in the car and shit to go get him. I'd have been outside the car
Pussy,
and shit
pussy,
like,
pussy.
get off, nigga.
Get on. Don't tell him to take his socks off. Like, oh,
Suck
shit.
that nigga
Don't touch
shit.
Chim
Yeah. American Hustle Life
Like,
is coming
coming
soon. When? And people be like, this is only the 10th time I asked you. This is my 11th time responding, nigga, soon.
Like, we got shit to do.
It's 1,000 of y'all.
There's only one of me.
Nah, you good though, Kurt? I just want to make sure you
It's
got
like,
your
even if I
clip
wasn't,
off.
you guys
If I
fucking stuff
wasn't.
on every point I try to
Yeah.
make.
Couldn't even get shit out. It's my birthday.
Pieces of shit.
They go, let me get this shit.
Could've gave you one.
This was a beautiful treat.
Nah, that's what. Jump in the comments. Tell us how y'all felt about this joint. Sorry we were all over the place, but guess what? That's why you love it here, because we get to talk about all this in-depth shit.
From now on, every video will have timestamps.
Yeah,
I'm doing
this Lil's just gonna be underneath there, like, here you go. Which feel good. They watched that shit.
I told you, yo,
Yeah.
bro. I was
Yeah.
like, yes, that got more views than a lot of the other Jones. I won't name names, but it got a lot. It got more views than that.
Definitely made sure I worded it a certain way so people kind of could first glance and just be like, "Is it a reaction?"
So, shout out to the comments though. Like, who was it? It was Reese.
It was Reese and a couple
someone else.
other-
A couple
it was-
other
it
people
was-
did full fledged
it was
Jones,
like
just
10
like
people.
we did, giving like comments.
Nah, real life, like Reese. Really, shout out to you. Like that wasn't even just answering. She went as far as to say like, such and such, like, you know, Nick at 5 minutes in, this happened, and then this, and da-da-da, and gave a nice little joint about
message at the end
family,
about us and how everyone's
favorite
that's
moments,
super dope.
yeah,
stuff like that.
That shit made me go back. I'm like, oh yeah, that did happen because none of us said the Grammy, John.
we did.
I was like, damn, I forgot about that.
But
a lot of it was so impromptu.
But I knew
like,
that was going to happen.
A lot of it was so impromptu that we like, you know what I mean?
But and that's why I'm
in
doing
the moment.
That's what I'm doing now, so we can kind of keep track of certain things and be like, all right, cool, we did this. This was big. This was the result of this and everything like that. Yeah, y'all definitely getting a more streamlined, professional, and like just hard hitting redemption in 2023. Man, it's gonna be up.
This shit up and stuck
It's about to be
because
our Whalien.
it's more people on here giving full list and like just talking, and it was people in here saying a whole lot as far as like they never invested monetarily in anybody. What else they said?
I think I even responded to somebody. Let me check.
It was on the far right about music videos, iconic music videos and visual medias. Okay, you talking about the whole
Dorothy, man.
the whole visual.
Really was so much fucking music, bro. Like I forgot about certain songs and shit just because I was like, damn, you know. But like I said, this year that shit's gonna be insane.
Oh yeah, shout out to them too. A lot of people did have glitch mode and shit higher than us and shit.
I think that's the beauty of it though. Everybody has like different genres and stuff like that. And it's not like a forced different type of list or whatever like that. Everybody just really liked what they liked, and you know, I think that's what makes it so much fun to be like, oh, you guys thought this, what about this? Because like I said, 28 Reasons from Sugi has been growing on me like the past month or whatever like that. I definitely forgot to even give that a shout out, but I had so many other songs, so it's fun. But like I said, we timestamps in every video. They might not be like immediate, but they'll be there, and I'll just have Nick pin it or something like that. But yeah.
Yeah, love your army. We gonna holla at y'all.
Love y'all.
Peace.
Take care.